everyone, it's Kristen. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining. Today I am going to be talking to you about my top 10 tips I've learned on Periscope since I've been doing, it's been almost 3 weeks, I've done 43 scopes or broadcasts, and here are the things that I have learned. None of them are tech. I'm not a tech girl. These are just things that I've learned, and I would like to share them with you. My name is Kristen Schmidt. I wrote a book called Bring Pretty Back, and I talk to you about ways to create a pretty life. And I know many of you are interested in doing scopes. Some of you have done them. Some of you haven't. So I'm just going to tell you some of the things that I've learned so you can do them yourself. So learn from some of my mistakes. Thank you so much for joining. All right, thank you live, and thank you for the replay viewers. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch me. All right, my number one tip about doing scopes is this. Number one, be you. Be you, do you, be you, because one thing about being on live stream and one thing about being on Periscope is, let me tell you, it's going to show if you're not being you. It's going to show. You have to be you, no matter what that is. Don't watch someone else's scope and then try to imitate them or be like them or say, well, they do this or they do that or this is how they. If it's something that's kind of cool, you want to try, but that's great, but don't try to be like someone else's personality, because it won't work. I'm telling you, it won't work. Be totally you. Thank you so much for joining. Good afternoon, everyone. Be you. Be you. That's my number one tip, no matter what, is be authentically 100%, no matter what that is, be you. That's my number one tip. Number two, all right, get to the point. I've been on, and in some of these things I just walked past my window. That's my future daughter-in-law. Yes, I saw her go by. Also, what I want you to know is, I've watched a few, and I'm guilty of this myself, as when you start your show, when you start your broadcast, get to it. I've been on some shows where it's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of hello. And it might be something that I really want to see, but it's like, let's get to it. It's just on and on. And here's what some people do. They will say hello to every person, and you can't, because you're going to miss someone and people are waiting, so you can't say hello to every single person. So I like to say at the beginning, hello, welcome, thank you, because thank you so much for being here. Don't pretend. Don't ever pretend to be something that you're not. Absolutely not, Max. Don't ever be something that you're not. Number one, be you. Please. And that's what people want. People are ready for real. I'm ready to watch and engage with real people. So be you. Just too much. There's too much. And I was guilty of this. And my friend Tracy, she said, you sound spastic when you're welcoming all the people, and it cracks me up. And I love it when someone is honest with me. So yeah. So don't be spastic. Get to the point. Welcome, hello, and then get to it, because people want to know what you have to say. And I also, my dog Riley Marie is my co-host today. We're having a storm and she's scared, so Riley Marie is going to be my co-host today. Or not. So okay. So and let me see. I've got notes even. And then another thing that people will do is, they'll say, okay, they'll start the show and say, well, we're going to wait for a few more people to get here. We're going to wait for a few more people to, it's like, I'm here. Or how about this one? Yeah, we're going to wait for Mary Beth. Oh, is Mary Beth here? Oh, we're going to wait a little bit for Mary Beth. You know, Mary Beth's not there. She chose not to be there. She's not here. I'm here. Let's talk to me. So that's rude. I think it's just rude to say, well, we're going to wait for a certain person. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So don't do that. Let me see what else. Say hi and get on with it. So number three, difficulties happen. Things happen. I've had shows that stop. It just gets annoying when people don't get to the point, especially if it's like, if you really want to know the information. Like, I really want to know this. So also is things happen. I've had shows that have stopped, that you can't get through with my Wi-Fi wasn't working. They've stopped. There are all kinds of things. But you know what? It's happening to everyone. It isn't just me. It isn't you. Everyone has the same technology. So if it just doesn't work, if things don't happen, that's okay. Move on. Do another show. Do one after. Do one the next day, but don't let it rile you up, because it just happens. It's technology, so don't get all hung up on if things aren't perfect, because they're not, and that's life. Number 4. Let me see. Oh, here's one. Okay, here's one. Number 4. Tech happens. Thank you. Okay. Also, here's another thing: is there's this whole thing about follow for follow. If I follow you, will you follow me? And all this. That's really silly. You don't have to worry about follow for follow, because you know what? You may have something that someone wants to watch, but it doesn't necessarily always work that way. Let's say someone wants to, I have guys that follow me, and I follow some men that have some great, amazing business tips, but they don't follow me because they may or may not want to create a pretty life. I'm not offended by that. One lady follows me, and she's amazing. Wait for Mary Beth, thank you. She follows me, but she scopes about horses. I don't own a horse. I'm not going to own a horse. I can't tell the last time I rode a horse. Her scopes are amazing. They're just not for me because I'm not a horse person. It has nothing to do with her. She's amazing. She's wonderful. So you know what? Scope about horses, scope about, I don't know, start an ant farm. Do whatever it is you're going to do. And then the people that will follow you are interested in that. But it isn't, and don't be offended if someone doesn't follow you if you follow them. That's silly. Go with interests. And here's another thing. Here's a little tip. Don't ask for a follow. Don't say, hey, will you follow me? Don't do that. I don't even have to tell you why. Just don't do that. Don't ask for a follow. That's silly. Number 5. Okay, you're going to be scared. You will be nervous to do your first scope. Don't be begging. Thank you. You're going to be nervous to do your scopes. You're going to be. Everyone gets nervous. And someone said to me the other day, it's so easy for you. Every time I go to hit broadcast, I go, okay, now, I'm going to do this. And so I get nervous every time, but I do it, and it gets easier every single time. My first scope is hilarious. I didn't know what I was doing, and then I took my phone, tossed it in my purse. I didn't turn it off. So it just kept, and it just kept going and going and going. Oh heavens! So we learn as we go. So there's a tip: turn it off when you're done. But you're going to be nervous, and you're going to be apprehensive. And when you first start out, like right now I'm doing this scope and I'm looking at myself. So you're looking at yourself talking, so it's unnatural. It's unnatural to look at yourself and talk. But you get used to it, and it gets easier and easier and easier. So you're going to be scared. Do it anyway. Just keep doing it, and it does get easier. I promise you it gets easier. And there are people that talk about it like their first scopes are so bad, and some of mine are so bad. I look back and think, oh my gosh. Those are so, they're funny. They're so bad, they're funny. So, and even the one I did yesterday was so bad, it was funny. It was, it was so bad. So you're going to have good ones, you're going to have bad ones. You're going to be scared, you're going to be nervous. Throw your hat in the ring and get scoping. All right. Number 6. Okay, have a plan or a purpose. I talk about ways to bring pretty back. I talk about ways to create a pretty life. That's what I talk about. So I'm not talking about horses. I have a plan. My plan is to talk to you, and I also decided to start doing my shows at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so they were on the same time every single day, because I had a plan. That was my plan. So have a plan. Whatever it is for you, do once a week or twice a week. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, have some kind of a plan. Have some kind of an idea of where you want to go with this. What do you want to do when you scope? Have a plan. And be consistent. Be consistent. That is huge. Let's also, yes, be consistent. So, yes. So if I say I'm going to be here at 11 o'clock, I'm here at 11 o'clock. So, but be consistent if you're going to scope every day. And I have some people that, also that I've watched, and I love their scopes, and I'll look, I go back and look to see it, and there's nothing there. It's crickets. There's nothing. So I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna, I don't know if they've done, I don't know if they're done. Maybe they've just decided scoping isn't for them. I don't know. But, and I, so I don't know. So be consistent and have a plan. Yes. And here's another thing. Number 7, don't worry. Please don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about how many followers someone else has, that you have, someone hearts, other people have a million hearts and you have 4, and you have 7 people watching your scopes and they have 7,000. You know what? Stop that. Because if you're doing this really from your heart and you really have something to say and you really want to connect with people and you really want to make a difference with what you have to say, you know what? Get on there and say what you have to say and the right people will find you. But don't compare yourself and don't think that you're less than because your numbers don't add up to someone else's, because you don't know what they have behind the scenes. Maybe they've been on social media for 14 years. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So don't think that your scopes don't matter because you don't have the big numbers and the big followers and all the hearts. Please don't think that what you have to say doesn't matter, because what you have to say does matter. And the people will find you. Be consistent, like we said, and keep scoping and keep talking and putting it out there, and the right people will find you. And so don't think that you're less than, or your scopes are less valuable than someone else's because of the numbers, because that breaks my heart when people think that. Oh, you know what? Yes, I've heard that people are buying hearts. Yes, you can buy hearts. Like you can buy Twitter followers, like that type of thing. You can buy hearts. Tell you, it's all ridiculous. So, just do your thing. So don't worry about the numbers. I've watched some scopes that have been amazing, and there have been 12 people on, and I do mean amazing, fabulous content. 12 people, and I've been on some where there have been more. And I'm thinking, I'm not getting this. I'm just not drinking this Kool-Aid because this doesn't make sense to me. So watch what you want to, but don't worry about the numbers, because that will just stifle you. Stop it. Oh, thank you so much, ABC Networking. ABW Networking. Gotta get my readers on. All right. Okay, here's another thing you can do. When people leave you a comment and you want to respond, you can go, let me back up. Let me go to number 9, I'll go back to number 8. And this is a tech thing, but not. You can save all of your scopes and all of your broadcasts. You can save them on catch.me. KATCH.me. Catch.me. It's so easy to do. Go in. Put your name in, then all of your broadcasts will be saved to that. It's so great. And then you can go back, you can watch your own scope on there, and then other people, if they don't have the Periscope app, they can watch it on catch.me. All of your shows can be shown on catch.me. And here's another thing. Since they're recorded live, what you can do is you can go through, and all the people that left you comments and during the show, they will show up, and you can click on that. It takes you right to Twitter, and you can respond back. So that's so nice. You can connect with the people that are connecting with you. So rather than do it during the show, you can do it after on Twitter, and you can connect with them. So that's a fantastic thing. So KATCH.me will save all of your broadcasts. And then, like I said, for people that are not on it on their phone, you can direct them there. So that's really, really, really fantastic. So, all right, and that was okay. And that was number 8. You can connect with them afterward on the tweets on the catch.me. So that way you don't, because sometimes they'll come up and you can't read them and you can't respond, and then you feel badly because you think, well, gosh, they don't even think that I care. Well, I do care. And then here's another thing. Do your scope. So let's break it down, shall we? Let's break it down. Number 1, be you. Because one thing about with Periscope, you can see my eyes. Like you can see me, and you get a feeling. It's like in real life. You just get a connection, or you don't get a connection with someone. So be you. Number 2, get to the point. Don't welcome all the people. Don't wait for a certain person. Don't wait for more people. We're going to wait for more people to get in the room. Don't do that. Okay. And then difficulties happen. Things happen. It's technology. Number 4, don't worry about the follow for follow thing. Don't worry about that. Don't take that personally. That's ridiculous. That's silly. And don't ask for a follow. You'll be scared. Number 5, you will be scared. You'll be nervous. You'll be like, oh, do it anyway. Everybody looks silly on their first few. That's all right. We all do. It's a good thing. And number 6, have a plan, have a purpose, be consistent. Number 7, don't worry about the numbers. That's just ridiculous. That's like going back to high school, isn't it? Like who's more popular and this and that. Ugh. All right. Catch.me. You can get 8 is catch.me. We'll catch all of your scopes. Number 8, you can reply to anybody on catch.me to have a connection, just so you know. And number 10, ask questions at the end. Don't ask them at the beginning or in the middle. Do them at the end. And then one thing that also that you should do during your scope, like I should have done it, a couple times. My name is Kristen Schmidt, and then you can introduce yourself. My name is Kristen Schmidt. Like, who are you? My name is Kristen Schmidt. I wrote a book called Bring Pretty Back. I talk to you about ways to create a pretty life. You can find me at bringprettyback.com. And then go on with yourself. And then at the end, ask the questions. Because if someone wanted the content, they wanted to know what it was, there was one thing that you wanted to say, they got it, and then they can go on with their day. And maybe there's somebody at the end of the broadcast that has a specific question. Then you know what? You can ask that at the end. That way if the people, it's kind of like if you go to, okay, here you go. It's like if you go to a baby shower or a wedding shower, you know what? Get in there, get your food, open up the gifts, wrap it up, and then you can leave. And then the people that want to stay can stay for hours and chit-chat. But if you need to get going on with your day, you can go on with your day. So it's kind of like the same thing. Kind of like treat it like a baby shower. So, and at the end, ask your questions, socialize, do anything you want to do at the end. And that way, if it goes longer or on, it doesn't matter because the people that want the content, they can go. So those are my top 10 tips, non-tech tips to do a show and be on Periscope and have it be a little more social. Thank you so much for taking the time to spend with me today. I appreciate it so very much. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for watching on the replay. And I will go out today and I'm going to make my day pretty. I hope you are too. Go out, do something nice for someone, pay pretty forward, and go out and create a pretty life. Mwah.